Hi everyone. So in the last video I gave you one homework. So the question was you have to print the ith node. Okay, you have to print ith node. So print, I can't spell. So you have to print ith node. And what will be our input? So the input will basically be the linked list. By linked list I mean the head pointer. And you will be given the index I. So suppose this is your linked list. Let's say 10, 12, 75 and 42. So if this is your linked list, the indexes are 0, 1, 2 and 3. So we are discussing the solution now. So suppose you want to print the node present at index 2. Okay, so if you want to print the node present at index 2, so this is your head. So what you have to do? So first of all, you have to reach the index 2. So for reaching the index 2, what you have to do? You have to iterate 2 times. So first iteration you will reach at 12. In the next iteration you will reach at 75. Okay, so if the value of I is 2, you are iterating 2 times. Okay, so once you will reach here, then what you have to do? You will simply print, or you can simply return. Either you can return head and you can print inside main, or what you can do, you can directly print here also. So you can do cout head data. It is your choice. Okay, so okay, now if the value of I is 0, that means you have to print 10. So that means what you have to do, you do not have to do anything, 0 iteration. Okay, so in this case, how many iterations were there? 2 iterations were there. If the value of I is 0, you do not need any iterations, so 0 iterations are there. If the value of I is 3, what you have to do? So first iteration, second iteration and third iteration. Okay, you have to iterate 3 times if you have to print the node present at index 3. So it is very simple what you have to do. So whatever is the value of I, you have to do that much number of iterations. Okay, so you can simply use a for loop. What you can do? For int. Okay, so if this is I, let's take a variable j. So j equals 1, j less than or equals to I and j plus plus. So how many times this loop will run? This loop will run I times. And what you have to do inside this loop? You just have to move ahead. Okay, you just have to move ahead. So head equals next of head. And finally what you can do? You can simply print the data of head. Okay, and obviously we have to handle the cases where the value of I is not valid. Okay, for example, the value of I is negative, or the value of I is basically greater than the length of the linked list. Okay, so we have to handle those cases also. So let's do this. So let us write a function. Okay, so for example, I am printing inside the function only. I am not returning the ith node. I will just print the ith node. So what should I do? Okay, so I am printing the data. I am not returning the node. I will print the data. So void, let's say print ith node, and it will take linked list as input. By linked list I mean the head pointer, because if you know the head, you know the complete linked list. Because with the help of head you can iterate over the linked list, and you will take the index. Which index? Okay, then first let us handle very simple cases. So first case, if the value of I is basically less than 0, then in that case what you have to do? So in that case you will simply print -1. So -1 means the index is invalid. Okay, you will simply print -1 and you will return. Now if the index is basically greater than the maximum index, so what is the maximum index possible? So in this case, what is the length of the linked list? Length of the linked list is 4. So the maximum index possible is 3. That means the maximum value of I can be length -1. Okay, so if basically I is greater than length -1, then this is invalid index. Okay, and we already have the length function with us. So let's take the help of length function. Now one thing, if you want to call the length function, then this function should be below the length function. Okay, so let's do that. So just remove this code from here and put it below the length function. Okay, so if the value of I is less than 0, or what you can do, if the value of I is greater than the maximum possible index. And what is the maximum possible index? Call the length function -1. Okay, so this is the maximum possible index. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's first find out the length. Okay, so int n, which is the, call the length function and pass the head. So it will give me the length, and instead of writing this, I will write, so if I is greater than n-1, so n-1 is the maximum possible index, then in both these cases you will print -1 and return. Now otherwise what you have to do, you have to do I number of iterations. Okay, you have to do I number of iterations. You can use for or while loop, it is your choice. Let's say I am using while loop, so how many times you have to run the loop? You have to run the loop I times. So while count is less than or equals to I, what you will do, you will do count plus plus, and what you have to do, you will move ahead. So head equals next of head, and at this line what will happen, we have reached the ith node. So after reaching the ith node, you will simply print the data. Okay, you have to simply print the data. So I think this code should work fine. Okay, so let us call this function and let us test. So we have already tested the length function, so we do not need length function anymore. Now let's test this function. Okay, so print ith node, and what we have to do, I have to pass the head, and let's take the value of I also from user. Okay, so let's say I will pass the value of I. Let's say I want to print the third node. Okay, I want to print the third node, so this is the value of I. Okay, so let's test our program. So let's say this is my linked list: 10, 48, 36, 12, 78 and -1. So what is my third? So remember, indexing starts from 0. So this is index 0, index 1, index 2 and index 3. So my output should be 12. Okay, so my output is 12. Now let's test it one more time. So this is my linked list, 10 and -1. Okay, so let's change it. For example, print the 0th node. Okay, so 10 and -1. So 0th node is 10. Indexing starts from 0. Okay, now let us test for invalid values of I, invalid values of indexes. So this is my linked list, 10, 47, 3 and -1. Okay, so I have to change the value of I here. So let me do that. Let's say the value of, let's say -5. So this is my linked list, 10, -1 and -1, because the index -5 does not exist. And now let us also pass the invalid index. So this is the invalid index, length of head. Okay, let's say 23, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and -1. Okay, so what is the maximum index? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So these are total 6 node. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so these are total 6 node. So the maximum possible index, maximum possible valid index is 5, because the index starts from 0. Okay, and what this length of head function will do, it will give the value 6. So that means my output should be -1. Okay, because the index is invalid, so output should be -1. So output is coming out to be -1. Okay, so our code is basically working fine. So here what we are doing, we are taking the help of the length function. So what is the time complexity of our code? So this length function, how much time it will take? So it will take big of n time. And then what we are doing, so we are iterating I times. So this, the time complexity of this loop is big of I, where I is the ith node. Okay, so the total time complexity is big of n plus I. Now one thing here is basically, let's say the value of n is 10 to the power 5. Okay, so we have 10 to the power 5 number of nodes available with us, and let's say I want to print the third node. So how much time complexity it is? So we are taking big of n time, okay, because n is much greater than I. So we are taking big of n time just for finding the third node, and which is not good. Okay, so what we can do, we can update our code. We can update our code. How we can update our code? So instead of calling the length function, what we can do, so we can add one more condition with this. And what is the condition? So see what we are doing, head equals next of head. Now suppose if head is null, suppose head is null, and what you are doing, head equals next of head. So basically you are doing null arrow next. If the value of head is null, what you are doing, null arrow next. Okay, so head arrow next. If the value of head is null, what you are doing, null arrow next. And basically this will give you the runtime error. Okay, because this is not valid, so it will give you the runtime error. So basically you can add one more condition, that head should not be null. Head should not be null. Okay, so that we will never be able to reach this kind of statements. So if you will add this condition, head is not equals to null, then we do not need this thing. I mean, you do not need to call the length function. Okay, so let's do this. So what I want to say here is, there is no need to call the length function. So there is no need to call length function, and here you just have to write one more condition, that head should exist. Okay, head should exist. Head is not equals to null. So what I am doing here is, I am iterating I times, and my head should exist. Okay, then only I will be able to write something like this. So head should exist. This is same as head not equals to null. Okay, both are correct. Now what is the time complexity of this code? So if you can see, the time complexity of this code is simply big O of I. Okay, in the worst case, the time complexity. So okay, so first let me run this code and test our code, then we will analyze the time complexity. Okay, so first let us run our code. So I am running this code for this function. Okay, length of head, so it should return me -1. Data is, let's say, 10 and 20. This is my linked list, 10, 20. Okay, output should be -1. That means we have done. So this thing means we have reached into the runtime error. Okay, so there is runtime error. Now let's try to analyze why we get this for 10, 20 and -1. Okay, so the data is, the linked list is 10, then 20 and then null. So this is my linked list. Okay, so head is pointing towards 10, no problem. So the value of I is basically, what is the value of I? So the value of I is 2. Okay, indexes are 0 and 1, and the value of I is 2 because 2 is the length of the linked list. Okay, fine. Then what you are doing here, count equals 1. Okay, the value of count is 1. Fine. Then 1 is less than or equals to 2, and head is not null. Yes, head is not null. Okay, head equals next of head, so head will reach here. Fine. And count will become 2. Fine. Then check. So 2 is less than or equals to 2. Yes, true. So move ahead. Okay, so move ahead. So head will come here. And what we are doing here is, so count plus plus, so count will become 3. Then check, so 3 less than or equals to 2, no. So what we will do, so this condition will not be checked. Okay, so this is the property of AND, that if the first condition is wrong, you do not need to check the rest of the condition. So I will reach here at this line, and what we are doing, head arrow data. Okay, so head is basically null, so we are writing here null arrow data, and that's why we get runtime error. Okay, so that is the reason for getting the runtime error. So I have to update this line. How can we update this line? So first you will check that if head is not equals to null, then only you can do something like this. Okay, then only you can print the data. In the else part, you will return -1. -1 means the index is not valid. Why the index is not valid? Because there are two ways that this loop can break. First is we have done the total number of iteration. The second way is head reached null. Okay, so if the head reached null, then I have to return -1 because the index is not valid. So for this case, you can see the index is not valid. Index I equals 2 is not valid. Okay, so that's why the value of head becomes null. Okay, so this is the property. This is not property actually. So this is the code that we have wrote, that if the index is not valid, then head will reach null. So if head reaches null, that means the index is not valid, and I will return -1. Okay, so I have to update the code. So we cannot just directly print the data because head can be null. Okay, head can be null. So before printing the data, you have to check that if head exists, that means if head is not equals to null, then only you can print the data. Then only you can print the data. Okay, so in the else part, what you will do, so you will see out -1. -1 means the index is not valid. Okay, now let's test our code. So this time it should give us -1. Okay, so 10, 20 and -1. So this time I am getting -1 because you can see index 2 is not valid. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's take index also from user. So int I, and we will take index input from user, and we will pass I here. Okay, now let's test our code. So this is the data 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 4 and 5 and -1. Okay, so how many number of elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So 7 element, that means the maximum reachable index is 6. And let's say the index is 8. Okay, so 8 is not valid index. Okay, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. That means the maximum valid index is 6, but I am giving 8. So I should get -1. And I am getting -1. Okay, our code is working fine. Let's test it one more time. Data is 1, 2 and 3 and -1. And I want to find the second index. So the second index is 3. Okay, so second index is 3. Now let's test it for index 0 also. So data is 1 and -1. This is the linked list. Index is 0. I am getting 1. And let's test for negative also. So for negative, there is no need to test. We will know it will work, but let's test it. So data is 1, 2 and 3, -1. Index is 0, not 0. Index is -1. And we are writing -1 because the index is not valid. Okay. So now let us analyze the, okay, so first let us dry run the code and then we will analyze the time complexity. Okay, so let's take a very small example. So this is your linked list 1, 2, 5 and let's say null. This is your linked list. So this is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2, and let's say the user give index 5. Okay, user is giving index 5. Now let us try to find out the time complexity. Sorry, not the time complexity, we are dry running our program. This is head. Okay, so I is positive, so it will not be executed. The value of count is 1. The value of count is 1. Okay, so 1 is less than or equals to 5, true, and head is not null, true. So move ahead. Head equals next of head. So this is your head now. Count plus plus, so count is 2 now. Again check, so 2 is less than or equals to 5, true. Head is not null, yes, head is not null. So move ahead. So move ahead. Head equals next of head. And count plus plus, so count becomes 3. Okay, so check. 3 less than or equals to 5, 3 less than or equals to 5, true. And head is not null, again true. So move ahead. So head will reach here. Count plus plus. And then check. So 4 is less than or equals to 5. Yes. So 4 is less than or equals to 5. So this condition is true. But we have AND operator here. Okay, we have AND operator. Head is not equals to null, but head is null. Okay, head is null. That means this condition is false. So I will not go inside the loop. I will reach here. Check. So if head exists, no, head does not exist. That means I will go in the else part and I will print -1. And -1 is the right answer for this. Okay, because index 5 is not valid. The maximum reachable index, the maximum valid index is only 2. Okay, this is the maximum valid index. Okay, so you can see that's how, with the help of this condition, there is no need to call the length function. Okay, so that's how it will work. Now let us try to analyze the time complexity. Okay, so what is the time complexity? So this part is basically constant. Okay, this part is also constant. Now this part, let's say the total number of nodes present inside my linked list is 10 to the power 5 and I want to find the value of I 3. So what will happen? As soon as the value of count will become 4, so this condition will become false and I will reach here. So the time complexity in this case, it is basically big O of I. Okay, now if you remember in the previous case when we were calling the length function, then in that case the time complexity was big O of n plus I always. Okay, it was always, and basically we can say n will be obviously much greater than I, so the time complexity is always big O of n. But in this case you can see the time complexity is big O of I, so this is very fast as compared to the previous code. Okay, now if the value of I is, let's say, 10 to the power 5 also, then in that case the time complexity will become big O of I, or which is same as big O of n. So the worst case time complexity is still big O of n. Okay, so the worst case time complexity is still the same, but on average this code will work faster. This code will perform better than the previous one code. Okay, so although the worst case time complexity is still the same. Okay, now let's dry run this code for one more time where this condition will become false. Okay, when the value of I is basically valid. Okay, so that you can understand it better. I'm going to take very small example. Let's say 1, 5 and 7 and null. This is my linked list and the indexes are 0, 1 and 2. Okay, and so this is your head, and let's say you want to find out the value present at index 2. Okay, so let's do that. So the value of count is 1. Now check. So 1 is less than or equals to 2. Yes. And head is not null. Yes. So go inside the loop and move ahead. So let's move ahead. And let's do count plus plus. Then check. So 2 is less than or equals to 2. Yes, true. Check this condition. So head is not equals to null, true, go inside, head equals next of head. So head will come here and remove it from here. Count plus plus, so count will become 3. Now check. So 3 less than or equals to I. So 3 less than or equals to 2. No, the condition is false. So if the condition is false, you do not need to check the rest of the condition because of the AND operator, and you will reach here. So if head exists, yes, head exists. If head exists, print the data. So basically you will print 7. Okay, and this should be the output. Okay, so for I equals to, the output should be 7 and we are getting 7. So that's how this code is working. So the time complexity is basically big O of I on average, or you can say in the worst time complexity, when the value of I is equals to n, then the time complexity is big O of n. Whereas in the previous code, the time complexity, when we were calling the length function, the time complexity was always big O of n. So we are doing much better than the previous code. Okay, so that is it in this video. I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye bye, take care.